so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
Travis Wingazel. So it's 5 o'clock, and in order to begin part 4 of 6, I'd have to upload the full 3-hour video to my movie maker before I can cut and splice and paste for 4, 5, and 6 for you. So it'll have to be done tomorrow. So, since I've got my typical Saturday stuff done in between all the videos I've done, we'll see if we can finish up the comment replies. Dun, dun, dun. So, where we left off last time, I had skipped over the Prof. Jones. And, yeah, it was a good thing. Just sending me a link from my Thanksgiving message to Latter-day Saint Mormons from me. I guess I could probably brighten up the lights, can't I? I can see me. So yeah, he just sends me a link as his reply. This is a naughty no-no. Unless I know you very well, and there are a handful, not a handful, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, within 5, whom I can trust when they do this kind of thing, because I know it'll be good. But nope, not the Prof. John, not the Prof. John Jones. Messed up on my cousin's name. Now I'm messing up Jones. All because of the Joseph Smith papers where a Jones is a Danite. Are you a Jones? You're a Danite, aren't you? Aren't you? I know you. I know you're the enemy. So, yeah, in case you've missed it, because everybody's missed it, everybody's not watching my channel anymore. Fly away to the sea. And so, yeah, President Russell Marion Nelson, a.k.a. baby name Lucifer, that's his baby name, Russell Marion. Look it up. If you're not going to watch my channel, that's his baby name. He is the fulfillment of prophecy, guys. Isn't that great, Mormons? President Russell Marion Nelson is the fulfillment of prophecy. He's the president whose name is Lucifer of the Great and Abominable Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Isn't that awesome? Fulfillment of prophecy. You never study, do you? You never study. And so, he failed. He hired a hitman, and he's been hiring hitmen, and they keep failing. Saying you're not watching my channel, so you're unaware of the Council for National Policy. They're the secret combination in America. They've been exposed by the Southern Poverty Law Center, the church, our members. They have been directly impacting decisions that are going to overthrow America, and it's already been overthrown. Let's give you an example here. Is it pro-life or pro-choice? Which is it? Neither. You're both wrong. Case in point, America has fallen. you're supposed to go to the 14th Amendment, Section 1. There you go. There's your answer. So now do you understand that the Supreme Court Justice of the United States of America committed an act of treason, seditious conspiracy, in overthrowing the Constitution of the United States of America yet again? Because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was also involved with Congress's new Disrespect for Marriage Act. Oh, they told you it was the Respect for Marriage Act? Oh, you missed the clause that the church put in. Yeah, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints put in their clause into that bill. Did you read it? Did you ever pay attention to the news? Disrespect for Marriage Act. And all LGBTQIAPO plus got punked because, again, your rights got dismissed. So are you supposed to have respect for marriage? Were you supposed to have the LGBT Marriage Act? Nope, wrong. Answer again. You didn't go to the 14th Amendment, Section 1, did you? Yeah, it applies to you too. Not just a fetus and the woman. What about blacks? Yeah. Getting shot in the back, unarmed. Did nothing wrong. Cop doesn't like them because of their color. I understand the George Floyd murderer, assassin, got stabbed in prison. I saw that in the news this morning. Everybody knew that was going to happen. Even if you are a racist in prison and a cop comes to your prison, everybody knows that's what's going to happen. Everybody knows that pedophile came to mind, like Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody knew. But yeah, there was some security guard oopsies, as we came to find out from the investigation. But yeah, there are certain criminals that will not survive prison. It's a fact of life. But they were protesting. Black Lives Matter protesters in 2020. They were protesting police brutality against blacks, unarmed, innocent, in the back. And so what did the police do during the Black Lives Matter protesters? They brutalized them, beat them down. But did blacks need to protest? Shouldn't have to. Did you check the 14th Amendment, Section 1? Yep. Women, blacks, LGBTQ, everybody is in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment. And so now you see that our government, with the deep state Dems and the MAGA fascists, are clashing with each other to see who's going to overthrow the Constitution their way. And MAGA's winning, in case you hadn't caught on. And so, yeah, America is becoming fascist. The Constitution of the United States has been overthrown. And even though we have a Democrat, deep state Democrat president who sent me a letter saying that he hates Israel, yeah, our nation is falling. And they're doing it piece by piece. And so, even though there was no big boom yesterday, the day that shall burn as an oven, Nelson failed to hire the right hitmen this time, again. I at least fulfilled my part of it. Did you check the description below that video, those videos? I'm putting it in every single one so that everybody will know. And nobody wants to know. What color was I wearing? Who am I? Learning of the Jews, remember? Don't put Christian or Islamic in there. Bum Christ. So that video from the Prof. Jones was one of ignorance and Christian, because it was titled, "Will There Be Places of Refuge in the Coming Tribulation?" We're already in it. It's not in the coming days anymore, as Nelson told you. So they're not Mormon, they're Christian. There is only one. Section 45. The prophet, not by title, but by actual predictions of the future. Prophet, like Nostradamus, prophesied to Mormons about Mormons in the learning of the Jews, so that Mormons would not be confused, would not be deceived, and not allow Christian interpretation with Jesus to interfere and cause a stumbling block for the interpretation thereof. Oops. Yeah, oops. God. So many videos trying to help you understand, and nobody cares. Verse 66. It shall be called the New Jerusalem, a land of peace, a city of refuge, a place of safety for the saints of the Most High God, the Sun God at noonday, Emmanuel of the Egyptians, language of the Egyptians, learning of the Jews, pre-captivity Babylon. And the glory of the Lord shall be there, terror of the Lord shall also be there, insomuch that the wicked will not come unto it. Also because I have the ledger, the Danite ledger, the book of the law of God. You ain't getting in. I know you. And it shall be called Zion. 19 July 1840. It's both two mountain cities, Zion and New Jerusalem. Just like Isaiah says, the word of the Lord from Zion and the law from New Jerusalem, or something like that. Could be switched around. I don't care. Mountain cities. And it shall come to pass among the wicked. So the rest of the world, right? We're going to get to it. That every man that will not take his sword against his neighbor must needs flee unto Zion for safety. And you better not be a Danite, because I got the list and I'm checking it twice. I found out who's naughty and who's not nice. And there shall be gathered unto it out of every nation under heaven, and it shall be the only people. See, if the Prof. Jones knew me and had been watching a number of my videos, he would have known that was a dumbass move to make. Because he knew that I would instantly respond with this very chapter as it came to mind when I saw it. I have associative memory. And so, will there be places of refuge? Refuge. Oh, associative memory. Section 45, verse 66. Peace, safety, refuge. Dumbasses all. The only people that shall not be at war one with another. And so, yeah, I'm a little troubled and disturbed that the Big Bang never happened yesterday. You know, just like the science claimed theory that, God, I can't believe that that Catholic thinks he's fooling people and it's worked so well. Creatio ex nihilo is real. Christian Jesus is now confirmed. He's true. Learning of the Jews is wrong. Even though they're the authors, they're wrong. Just like Joseph Smith. He's wrong. We have to correct him on his documents. We have to make changes because he's wrong. Our founding prophet, wrong. He's not a prophet. He's fallen. He can't get the scriptures right. Let's forge some documents to make them true. Let's forge the ledger and say it's from him. So yeah, this is what I'm worried about, guys. As much as I'm relieved that I can now continue on to get Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and Star Trek's Strange New Worlds Season 2, and then later on in the month get Lower Decks Season 4, which is hilarious. Oh, that girl playing the daughters, she is just awesome. And it's a cartoon character, but she's awesome. Do not tame her. Keep her wild. And so then January is the last known so far. I don't know, Magnum P.I., Season 4, the final season. But yeah, it still concerns me because nobody is aware that our government's been overthrown. Nobody sees it. Everybody thinks they've got hope. Oh, let's put it on the ballot for 2022 and let democracy choose. Dear God. All other nations in the world are laughing at us. You know, those dumb Americans. Why are we doing business with them again? Oh, because they're gullible and they'll give us their money? We can put lead in baby food. Did you hear about that? Oh my God. Lead in Wana banana or something like that. And so, no, the Prof. Jones, you are not paying attention to my channel. You're trying to push for Jesus. You're gone. So, Raymond Reyes, bombshell breaking news, LDS Church confesses, section 119. Gotta get to Zion, but my goodness, this is a long one. What are you doing here? Psychic ability with my developed... Oh, dear God. think I need to read anymore. But because I either have to read it to you or do a snapshot to preserve this. Maybe you'll find it funny too. Hi Travis, this is Raymond Reyes Bourget, a longtime LDS member that left the church very long ago. So you must be extremely old. Long-time member and you left a long time ago? I have been watching your videos for a short while. Yeah, no wonder. I'm the man like Moses. Did you wear a red shirt? I didn't even plan that. That was the shirt for the day. That's how I do things. I do my laundry, I pull them out of the dryer, I fold them, I put them in the pile. The last one out becomes the first one on top. That's how it is. And it just so happened to be that I did the laundry on the day before. And so after I bathed and shaved, that was the shirt on top. Ta-da! I didn't know I was fulfilling prophecy until after I was it was either uploading the video or beginning to watch it, and I went, oh yeah. No, because I did have to put it in the footnote, so while I was uploading it, that's when I figured it out. Yeah, because I kept adding stuff to it. Yeah. I didn't know I was fulfilling prophecy. I just did. And so yeah, I did my part of it, and Nelson failed. Which is weird. Because the prophecy is for both. But Nelson failed. Nelson's a loser. And I still showed. That's worse than Elijah versus the priests of Baal. Nelson had this rigged, and he still failed to light the altar on fire. Another prophecy fulfilled. Yes. Because the learning of the Jews, it's a prophecy. Man, Nelson, you suck. Why are people afraid of you again? Isaiah also asked that question. Why are people afraid of him? Shall we read it? Let's read it. Let's have fun with this at Nelson's expense. This is the prophecy of Nelson in the Book of Mormon, 2 Nephi, from Isaiah. We'll start with verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Russell Marion, baby name meaning, son of the inverted pentagram of Venus? Art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. No, Jesus never ascends for him. That's the weird thing. His Jesus, who's angry with nicknames, never ascended. Never. I've been listening to his conferences to do videos about it. Never has Jesus of Nelson ascended. He's been resurrected. Sure, that's not ascension. Christians, yeah, their Jesus ascended. They have his dismissal mass every single Christmas. That's what it means. Dismissal of Christ. That's that mass at the end of the year. But nope, Nelson, his Jesus never ascends. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like Travis. Wayne Goodsell. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, or Utah. to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and shall consider thee, and shall say, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? That did shake kingdoms? He's shaking them. He's involved. Not just with the Council for National Policy. The war in Ukraine. The war against Israel. What did you think he was talking to the UN leader about? What did you think he was talking to government and religious leaders of Islam for? Oh, it's so that we can make a pamphlet that says we're just like Muslims. Saudi Arabian princess, huh? Uh-huh, sure. And made the world as a wasteland. That's what wilderness means there. And destroyed the cities thereof. See, I told you. And opened not the houses of his members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, prisoners. All... Yeah, he's talking about all the kings of the nations, they all of them lie in glory, every one of them in his own house, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. And the remnant, see, church, the great and abominable church. They're using abominable on purpose. Did you listen to my commentary on his Christmas message last night? Do you still not understand why this church is the great and abominable one over Christianity even? So yeah, John the Revelator says more about what Nelson's fate is in chapter 19 there at the end. And I am surprised by so many things you have discussed about the upbringing of the LDS sect, and that not many members know about. Yeah, apparently nobody knows. Nobody knows about the ledger still, even after the series that I'm doing, because nobody's watching. Let's get to the part where you think you're a psycho. In the course of many years, since I left the church, in my search for truth, I have studied and practiced several different philosophies, oh dear God, and faiths of different cultures, and through the practice of demeditation, I have developed a psychic high intuition that induces deep inner self-realizations. Yeah, do you take drugs with that? As a result, I was able to realize that there is something very wrong with the story and records of what the LDS teaches. Yeah, you haven't been watching very much of my channel, have you? Are you going to Mormonsplain to me now? That you're psychic witness? See, Mormons have this thing called a spiritual witness. It's about feelings, not intelligence. So now you're telling me that you have a psychic witness, not intelligence? Is that what you're saying now? Because I'm saying that it's exactly the same thing as Mormons. That in turn made me very unpopular. Well, yeah, when you tell people they're stupid, they don't like you, right? With local LDS church authorities whose interpretations of the Mormon doctrine is full of holes that twists part of the bigger truth. He is Mormonsplaining. Just the other day, a dumbass comes and says he's gonna Israel-splain to me, and he gets it wrong. Now we've got a former Mormon who's been there for a long time and has left the church for a long time, who's gonna Mormon-splain to me with his psychic powers. I'm sure I'm gonna get owned. With my developed psychic ability. As I have listened to your mentioning of the prophecy made to Joseph Smith by the second apparition, you weren't listening. It's a vision. It was not real. It's not literal history. The spiritual angel that states, burning like an oven, for the abomination of the teachings and practices of the 2.0 version of Mormonism established by Brigham Young, who changed pretty much everything, not pretty much, that Joseph Smith established, which he claimed to have done through the interpretations of the gold tablets, not by translation. And by communication. No, Joseph had nothing. His contributions in the Book of Mormon are nil, zip, nothing. Nit, nine, whatever other word and language you can come up with. Nothing in there. I know all critics say yes, except for those who believe Sidney Rigdon is the major author of the Book of Mormon. They're the only ones who are that part right. They then conclude wrong because they can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. They still think Sidney Rigdon's the bad guy. Dumbasses all. Be intelligent. Use science. Don't use your psychic abilities. Do we have a song for this yet? Not yet? Because we could do the Diane Warwick. She's dead now, but she was a part of the psychic network. Because it's not quite appropriate for the witch with the who sold her soul to Nelson to get the singing voice that she has. From Fleetwood Mac. She has the crystal vision and another song also when I Google search it on YouTube to bring it up for the songs in the description below. So this isn't witch stuff. This is psychic stuff. And by communication with angelic no, you're good. You're not listening to me. He's going to be banned. This is a fact. He's not listening. He's pushing him on my channel. And he's Mormon-splaining to me. The following is my psychic, intuitive take on the prophesied subject of burning like an oven. It is appropriate for the introduction that I gave you guys. It all fits. I am good, and I'm not psychic. While you have said that it may mean a nuclear detonation in Salt Lake City by domestic or foreign attack, you have also mentioned, as a reference, the ancient burning of Sodom and Gomorrah that burned like an oven by fire that rained from the heavens sent by God. Yeah, because I'm trying to tell everybody that these are learning of the Jews. They're all symbolic patterns. That's why they're all the same. But, yeah, on Nelson's birthday, Lucifer's birthday, 9/9, 2 days before he fell, the stars fell from heaven, from Perseus. That's me! I had chopped off Medusa's head, and you're turned to stone, which would also be an excellent song from ELO, but not psychic. That's more Christianized New Age imposition on the classical Greek tale. Everybody thinks they want to replace an older religion and make it their own and say that it's the one true religion. I believe that you have missed a bigger possibility of psychic intuition. Salt Lake City is sitting over the biggest caldera volcano known as Yellowstone. No, the valley is not. I've checked. When I heard about Yellowstone and how it's a mega volcano, I checked. And I even checked to see how big of an explosion it would cause if it were to blow. And I even checked the rate of speed at which it would come and see how far it would go. And no, it will not get here. You didn't do your research. Oops. So much for your psychic intuition. That is long overdue. Yeah, so is an earthquake. It's over 200 years since it was due for the big earthquake here in this valley. Salt Lake City, downtown. The news, local news here, even said, hey, whoops, uh-oh, we've got trouble. We've got a fault line coming from the north down into Salt Lake City that ties in with the Mountain East fault line. If there were to be an earthquake there, it would be big. So yes, I know about these. And yes, it hasn't happened yet. But you're not listening to me. Joseph Smith says very clearly as he adds it from Malachi. It's not in Malachi. He adds it. They that come shall burn them. Not they from outer space will zap some laser beam into the crust of the earth to cause an earthquake for the volcano to erupt. Dumbass. Dumbass all. And he doesn't say alien, I just made that part up. But again, he's claiming that it would be a natural disaster to fulfill prophecy. No, Joseph Smith makes it very clear. It's a human being. Humans, they that come shall burn Mormons. And so it's not the Jews, it's Mormons. But Christians and Islamists don't believe in the learning of the Jews. They replaced the Bible of the Jews to be their interpretation. And because their interpretation is wrong, they have to fulfill it to make it happen. Whereas me, no, I am the fulfillment. I just live my life and boom, oh, I fulfilled Isaiah today. What do you know? Oh, and Elijah versus the priest of Baal. Huh, cool. Nelson, is Jesus out taking a piss? And you would never know what I'm referring to because you don't have the right translation of that passage. It will blow up and incinerate Salt Lake City with a single blow, changing the landscape of the states of Utah, States of Utah? Oh, Montana, Wyoming, and Washington forever. Affecting the entire homeland. I welcome your comments. Bleep you. Get the hell out of here. Let me know what you think. Yeah, you're going to have to not sign in to hear what I have to think. Gone. Oh, my hell. Yep, Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies of love and respect. Not. Mark Crispin. Brad Wilcox needs to keep his big mouth shut. Yep, he's a sexual deviant and a racist. He needs to just... But the church is promoting him. Very sad. Yes, Brad Wilcox is a total racist and sexist and bigot and pervert and inappropriate, and yeah, keep him away from your kids. But the church promoted him. He's now the first counselor after that big old scandal. And Mark really has some stuff to say about Brad on that one video. I bet Brad Wilcox is there a Fisher Price factory for him to play with? Or are you referring to something else? I can't. I'm gonna let that one not be approved. But funny. Bombshell, breaking news, LDS Church confesses, and no Mormon cares. The biggest bombshell of a Mormon's life, and they're like, what? What's the book of the law? Do I have to pay for it now? Is it part of our scriptures? Oh, good, it's online? Yeah, I promise I'll check it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Checks in the mail. Oh, we don't do checks anymore? James and Jasmine. All right. My new friends. Hello, Mr. Goodsell. You edited this? Okay. No seizures today, please. Yeah. I've been forgetting to eat. Getting so busy doing stuff that I don't think about eating. And then when there's a pause, all of a sudden it hits me. So yeah, I also realized that I got from my mother what I have figured out my mother had, which no doctor could ever figure out, and she's died, and she never knew that she had it. She has narcolepsy, but the doctors think it might have been thyroid disease, hypothyroidism, hypoglycemia, blah, 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 diabetes, none of that. It was none of that. And so she lived her whole life taking different drugs for all these things that doctors said she might have. Let's find out. None of it was accurate because she didn't have any of that. And so what it was narcolepsy. It's just where, out of the blue, and it varies because I have it. And so I can sense when it's coming on because I've been paying attention to my body and how it functions and operates. And so this is how I figured it out, is because I too was wondering, well, is it hypothyroidism, diabetes, all these different things, low blood pressure, low blood sugar, etc. No. It just hits me. And so when it starts to come on, I need to get to my bed and lie down, or get into the chair, but it'd be better for the bed, and just let it run its course. And sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 3 hours. I don't know until after it's done and over with. But the seizure part is something different than the narcolepsy. It's where my body needs peanut butter. That's what helps me. And so in West Valley City, with the Corona money, I got a whole bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups, because I found that when it starts to come on, I need to stop what I'm doing and immediately get that peanut butter into my system. And as peanut butter, it's a faster digestion than peanuts. And so I've got peanut butter here. And so that would help. And I've only experienced it a couple of times in this apartment so far. But nothing else seems to help with it. And there's nothing I can do. I go running every morning because of the breathing problems and the needing to stay fit anyway, and with the allergies that I get. And so I try to get regular sleep, but when those seizures come on, I need to act immediately. And they are sometimes connected with my narcolepsy, so that I can see a seizure coming on and realize that if I can't get to the peanut butter quick enough, then I need to also lie down for that too. But I can't take a nap during the middle of a video. So yeah, I am mortal, even though I'm fulfilling all these prophecies. I am not Superman, even though I am of the House of L. Sorry you have been having such a bad holiday. It wasn't bad. I didn't get to do what I wanted. It's not a bother for me to do videos for you guys. But there are other things that I would like to do. I would like to assemble the other desk that I have so that I can pull out my other obsolete computer that is the only computer that will play the Civilization 3 computer game. And I would like to get going on that again, because that's an awesome game. As well as the Cleopatra pyramid building game too. That one's a fun one. I can design my own games, so that was awesome. And then, with the different projects that I have, it just depends on people's interest. You know, because restoring Joseph Smith's actual religion, you know, I still have the channel, Restoring Joseph Smith's Church, or the Church of Amen Christ is another one, but I gave up on those. The Church of Amen Christ was supposed to be for the business, because it was intended to be a religion at first, but then I was told that Utah law does not allow an individual to start his own religion. They've made it complicated so that Mormonism can't be challenged in this valley. And so I turned it into an LLC, and the state of Utah purposely held my rushed, paid-for licensing. And then after I got it, the state of Utah then sabotaged me. And so it was closed before it ever began. And so, yeah, the church, they do not like anybody challenging them. They don't like it when people dare to molest and make them afraid. I have no problem molesting them and making them afraid of me, which they are. That's why this bombshell came out when it did, because he knows I checked the church news. He knew to put it up after I checked the church news on the 21st, so that I would see it on the 22nd, the day before Thanksgiving. He knew none of you would ever go to it. They would never know about it. And how it's important. He knew I would know, and he knew I would humiliate him with it. And I did, with a 6-hour series video. Only 3 hours are published now. And so I've been hacked and threatened to be silent and to leave it alone and to stay away, and I never do. And they never get it. They have to murder me. You want me stopped, you murder me. I will not betray Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon like this dumbass did. I am who I am. Ooh, that was a twist on that. And so Mormons are supposed to now be offended to also fulfill that prophecy, but Mormons aren't even listening. So it wasn't a bad holiday, it's just I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, which was obtain women's fashion. And so James and Jasmine, you probably don't know about that from me. So let me go over it with you, as this is going to be an 1.5-hour video. Probably have to put it up tomorrow. We still have a number of comments. As a child, we were living in Placentia, California at the time, and my mom would get the Sears catalogs. And it would be right before Christmas, and so, yeah, it would contain the Christmas toys and stuff like that. And Mom would use that to help her know what we want for Christmas. And there was one particular time where she came right out and asked us, make me a list of what you want for Christmas, and we'll see what Santa can give you. I already caught you. I know it's not Santa. But, you know, my brother and sisters, they made a 1-page list of a few items. They even had to consult with Mom as to what she meant by that. For me, I went through the Sears catalog. That toy, that toy, that toy, that toy, that toy. Need another paper. That toy, that toy, that toy, that need another paper. That, literally, multiple pages. I think we had staples back then. Was a stapler invented? I think so. Though it could have been taped. Did we have tape? And so my mom didn't tell me after Christmas when I didn't get anything on my list. And she then finally tells me, well, yeah, your list was too long, so I threw it away. So I got screwed on Christmas because my list was too long. So yeah, I've never liked Christmas. I was hoping with my new family that I could enjoy Christmas again, and thanks to the now ex, it hasn't been much better. And then the second ex, also, she doesn't like getting gifts. She throws them all away. So anyway, the Sears catalog. In the Sears catalog, I'm turning 10 years old. And there's these strange creatures in the Sears catalog. Who are these? I'm fascinated. I want to know more. Commercials are on TV are saying that they have feminine secrets. What's going on? And so they're modeling fashion in the Sears catalog. And so as my mom set out the Sears catalog on the kitchen table, we kids are there in our places. It's a cubby hole for the dining table. And so facing the dining table in the cubby hole, my dad would sit at the head of the table on that side, facing, because it's reversed with the camera, so just understand. Envision in your mind, facing the dining table, my dad is on the right, even though this looks like the left for you. And my mom is on the left. And so then there's me in the back against the wall next to my dad. Tiffany, the oldest of my younger sisters, is next to me, next to mom. Then Tara Lynn, because she is the youngest and was in a high chair for a period of time until she was old enough to sit in her own chair. And so having her next to mom near the kitchen made it easier for my mom to handle her. And then Todd, across from me, next to my dad. Boys, girls, separated. So that's how we would sit doing activities that my mom would do for us, not just the Sears catalog. And so, yeah, we had other things like baking bread, making cookies, drawing. My mom bought some how to draw books, and I would draw dragons that were in there and other things, and that's how I learned how to be a cartoonist and to draw Snoopy and do other drawing. And Snoopy's doghouse, for example, is what got me inspired, not just for the drawing part, but to go into architectural design. But when I took the class at Rick's, I was told that computer technology is going to render it obsolete. And so why am I taking this class again? Graduate as an architectural designer, only to find out that I'm obsolete and nobody wants to hire me because they want a computer programmer who knows how to run a computer program of the same thing, which I do have that program too, an architectural computer program. And so that's another project that I'm wanting to get to, is designing Zion. But and so collages was one of the things with the Sears catalog. Cutting out the pictures and then gluing them or taping them, depending on what was invented at the time, onto paper. And so, yeah, because I'm born and raised in the Covenant Mormon, women are evil. And so I'm fascinated. I want to know more, but I can't let anybody know I'm looking at them. So I can't let my siblings, and especially mom, see that I'm looking at them. And so I would come back later to get them. And then one Christmas, my sisters got fashion plates. And I'm like, "Aw, it could have been that Christmas I got screwed over on." And so I'm going to my sister's door, which was right across the hall from us. And the bathroom was in the middle of us. There in Placentia. And, "Can I play with the fashion plates?" "Okay, but you have to do it right here at the door. Don't take it anywhere else. And then knock when you're done." And so, yeah, I would sit there, lie there, playing with fashion plates. And you put the plates in the little spot, then you stick a paper over it, and then you get the colored pencils, and you scribble over it to get the design of the woman with the various fashions. That was fascinating to me. I love that. And so, yes, I would have loved to have gone on to become a woman's fashion designer. And the first ex, she was at Rick's in fashion design. She was going to be a fashion designer and was telling me that the starting pay in New York is $100,000. Mom. But nope. That is not approved for a boy in the Mormon church. And so I was shunned and shamed and discouraged and guilt-tripped and punished and condemned and judged. Anything to keep me away from women. And so, yeah, all of that. And it probably got started with Beth. And when I was living in Michigan, in kindergarten, she was a classmate. One day while going to school on Powell Revere Road where we lived on, going to Miller Elementary, and she was across the street when I came out of the house, and hi, and I came across the street to join her to walk her to school. And two guys of the older grade came up from behind her and pantsed her, and she was screaming in horror, and I froze in horror. And I guess it was too awkward to talk with her after that. And I don't know how long she stayed in school because she wasn't kindergarten or first grade. That's the last I saw of her. And I'm furious with my dad for throwing my life away. Literally. All my pictures, all my records, school records, all documents, all my art. My mom saved one binder with my dad's purging of my life. All my mission journals. I had volumes, a couple of dozen at least, of my life. With an art journal, not just a mission journal, not just a picture journal, not just journals. He just threw everything of mine away. My voice as a little kid reading "Are You My Mother?" Gone. My dad hates me. He literally threw me away in 2008. And so I can't understand, because the second ex found out that my dad had quadruple bypass surgery, and yet my mom's dead. Died in 2021, 21st of December, 12/21/2021. 21. 77 years old. And yet my dad apparently is still alive with quadruple bypass surgery. Of course, with her death, he gets the money to pay for the medical doctors, the medical bills. But, apparently there was no foul play in her death. But, my whole life, the church tried to erase me. My dad erased me. All the stuff I have here, I had to rebuy. And so here I am, still in Mormon, Utah, where they're trying to ban porn. Trying to vilify women's bodies. And I'm apparently their only defender, as Utah Mormon women are the highest per capita in the universe ever that takes depression meds because of the patriarchal abuse of the church. So, yeah. Today, for example, I was able to sneak in some women's swimsuit fashion. Just as an example. And even if you have to eat some PB&J sandwiches, please do so. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I'm shaking, and when I'm shaking, I need to hurry quick. But yeah, I'm in tune with my body to sense when it's coming, to know that I gotta hurry. Otherwise, why is somebody knocking on my door on a Saturday at 6 p.m.? So, let's see, we would rather wait for your videos knowing you're healthy. Okay, I'll be back. So that was a little neighbor kid. Got the wrong door. Alrighty. Approve that one. Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies of love and respect, not. Mark Crispin again. Thanks, Travis, for backing me up. Raymond Reyes here again. Didn't ban him quick enough. Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies of love and respect. Hi, Travis. Raymond Reyes Borges again, here again. It could be Borges, I don't know. Borges. It's got Borg in it. We are Borg, the psychic network. Which, interesting. Because they did, didn't they? I bring here comments that refute your views on Roe v. Wade and on illegal immigration. Again, I've got the Constitution on my side, dumbass. The U.S. Supreme Court did not take the right from women to abort. Yeah, they did. Are you not aware of what's going on right now? Women are specifically trying to win in states to have abortion back. Idaho has chased out all of the OBGYNs with their new law. This is a national security crisis. Dear God. Kids, don't do psychic intuition. It's dangerous. For as a federal entity, its function is only to interpret the law. Yeah, it should have been. But that's what I'm saying. They said the 14th Amendment, nope. No. And so, yes, all these other laws are in violation of the Constitution. Because, yes, you're right, the Supreme Court is only to interpret whether or not a person has violated the Constitution and the laws made pursuant thereof. Congress makes the laws that are supposed to be in pursuance of the Constitution, so that if they don't, we have the Supreme Court as a, wait for it, check and balance to keep the Congress in check, as well as the president, who can veto a bill, forcing the Senate to have a certain majority in order to override the veto. We are witnessing a complete and utter collapse of our government. And the news is talking about, oh no, democracy is in jeopardy. Democracy can never be in jeopardy because it's always the majority vote wins. That's why they're pushing to put it on the ballot in 2024. And so that democracy can stand with truth for women. But you're not listening. The Constitution states in Articles 4 and 6 that we are to be a constitutional republic, not a democracy. And nobody is following the Constitution as a constitutional republic. They all want democracy, even if it's MAGA, by forcing everybody under their will. But yeah, it is pretty close 50-50 with the elections. But Biden just, yeah, that, don't even get me going on the church, Council for National Policy. It does not have the right by any interpretation of law to establish and to license authorities, federal, state, or local. You're not listening to the news across the entire homeland to assure and enforce abort. Oh my God, seriously? Are you not watching the news? That's the first thing Republican states did, is boom, shut down the abortion clinics, vilify them, make sure that the doctors get punished, not just the women. God, I do the news reports, talking to you about the one NBC woman who's talking to the one member of the government, whether it was the president or the congressman, asking him, do you approve a 6-month abortion? And I'm just going, oh my God, she's a news reporter. And she's completely clueless about the 14th Amendment, Section 1. Nobody cares about the Constitution. Everybody pushes for their agenda to get it in the law, which overthrows the government, which overthrows the Constitution. It's just so sick and wrong. The only thing the Supreme Court did, he's government-splaining to me, and he doesn't even know how the government functions. And Raymond Reyes, Bourget, Fragile, is he naturalized? I don't know. If he's naturalized, he should be smarter than the rest of us who are born citizens, because they have to take a test. And so apparently he's not. apparently he too is born American and has no clue. The entire homeland to ensure and enforce the power. The only thing the Supreme Court did is to return the power to the individual sovereignty of the states. They're not supposed to have individual sovereignty. Oh my God, did you not read your Constitution? This is the whole thing. Every single state, every single branch of government, federal and state and local, everyone must take an oath to the United States Constitution, not to individual sovereignty of their state. Right there in the Constitution, Article 6. Dear God. So yes, this is exactly what the church is trying to do. To turn Utah into an individual sovereign nation again. And allow citizens to vote on the issue. That's democracy. And as we are all witnessing in real time, democracy sucks. Because the majority wins, and the majority can be hypnotized very easily. And so what about the minority rights? So we just make it different for every state? You know, Texas? Nope, no abortion for women. But what state does allow abortion? Ohio, they voted for it. But Ohio? Yeah, you can have abortion in Ohio. So what is that going to do now? That now divides our nation. Women are going to have to move to Ohio. They're going to have to leave Texas. Men in Texas are not going to be happy with this. Ohio is not as big as Texas. And apparently, since everything is bigger in Texas, I guess the women are bigger in Texas. I don't see that to be the case, though, with the Texas women that I've seen. But, yeah, Travis from Texas. But, yeah, dear God, man. So, yeah, also back on the women thing, I also bought for a desk calendar since apparently we have no idea if there's going to be a Big Bang. Got a desk calendar of women. And apparently the only ones doing it now are Sports Illustrated, so have no choice. It's got to be a desk calendar. It can't be a wall calendar. I'm not doing wall calendars anymore. And so, yeah, daily desk calendar. A picture a day. Yep. The perfect girlfriend. Doesn't talk back. And I'm going to the singles wards, and women are telling me that a teddy bear is the perfect date. This is the perfect man. As apparently there's even a meme for it or something too. Yeah. All men are created equal. Not if we're divided as individual sovereign states. You are not comprehending. Dear God. Yep, you gotta teach government in school, kids. You gotta take tests on it. Otherwise, your psychic intuition is gonna lead you astray. The majority of the U.S. Supreme Court justices, dear God, were unable to establish scientific facts. They don't need scientific facts. It's not about pro-choice or pro-life or when the baby becomes a human. The 14th Amendment, Section 1. It's a simple question. Is a fetus born? Nope. Case dismissed. That's all they had to do. And instead, they created their own law in violation of the 14th Amendment, Section 1. Similar to what they did screwing up the Second Amendment. That's about the militia. Dear God. The right to own guns is in the other amendment. Effects. Guns are part of our effects. Life, liberty, property, or effects. And you put pursuit of happiness because you don't know the Constitution and that Bill of Rights. The majority of the U.S. Supreme Court justices were unable to establish scientific physical facts in their arguments because they do not exist. They're psychic. None of them were able to legally and scientifically assure or attest that the fetus from day 1 to 9 months old inside a woman's womb or inside an incubator is not alive. It has nothing to do with whether a fetus is alive or not. Of course it's alive. The sperm is alive. The egg, not really. But once the sperm is in the egg, kaboom! There's a light show going on. Oh, right, you probably never took human biology to see those pictures. It's the Big Bang. But it's not creatio ex nihilo. Even you can understand and appreciate the overwhelming legal dynamic and legal repercussions for inventing, lying, faking, and misleading the American people by establishing and enforcing at the federal level an immoral. Really? Now you're going to get into another area of my expertise, morals and ethics. Which one are you choosing? Because it seems like you're amoral, that there are no moral implications, and that you just let the people vote, and that's morality. Because that's what I'm seeing you saying. Personal or political convenient opinion, wish or desire that is unconstitutional. Seriously? You just violated a number of the constitutional guaranteed inalienable rights, and you're calling it unconstitutional? Whether abortionists like it or not. Abortionists, yeah. Oh, you're a female, are you? So you're one of them abortionists. Living does not equal born. That's the debate. And nobody cares that the 14th Amendment says, nope, it doesn't matter if the fetus is alive. It has to be born to be given citizen rights. But overthrowing Roe v. Wade, that's what states are now doing. They're now saying that, the fetus now has rights, the woman no longer has rights, so the fetus comes first. And he's clueless. He's obviously not a female. And I've never even known what a female is. Never found out what those female secrets were. Feminine secrets. What are they? Declaration of Independence. Unborn babies' life are protected by the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, right there among all the other lists of crimes of King George. The American Revolution was the fight for an unborn fetus. We'll just let you rewrite history. Oh my God. The forefathers drafted that U.S. Constitution did not differentiate the concept of life in two different sets, groups, categories, or physical states of being. Nor did they, in writing, establish that babies in a woman's womb were not alive. Checkmate. He owned me. Oh no! There is no valid constitutional argument. Oh my God. Oh my God. The U.S. Supreme Court or the federal government as an entity can use to legalize or enforce abortion, which by the way, is a sin according to the Ten Commandments. What? He's now claiming that abortion is now thou shalt not kill. It's incorrectly translated. It's actually murder. There's a difference. Because if you're going to say it's kill, do living microorganisms count? If they do, well, we're killing every time we breathe. Oh, plants are living. We slaughter them for our food. Those vegans, ooh, killers. See how I turn it around? They're the ones complaining about meat from animals. He's not getting it. He apparently, when he plays with his little factory, Mark, he has not taken it a microscope and counted how many came out. Because he's unaware that they're all living. They're alive. And yet, only one. There can be only one. Sometimes two. Maybe 3 or 4. There's an octuplet. She did porn. The Octomom. Followed by Deep Throat. Starring the Mormon who took down Nixon. Oh my God. This is just so twisted. Dear God, and he's clueless that he's a part of the problem. That's overthrowing the government and women's rights. Oh my God. No, you were not in checkmate. We were never playing chess. You automatically lost when you said psychic intuition. Should I even bother reading the rest of this? Dear God, which the Book of Mormon supports by establishing it as the learning of the Jews. No, dear God, no. That's the Christian interpretation. Jews have no problem with abortion because they understand that life, Genesis chapter 2, begins at birth. Did you not listen to the news? Ask Jews about this. God. Ignorance. Lack of intelligence, i.e., moron. I can't. He just keeps on going. He's not worth my time. That was just too hilarious. And he's serious. That's the sad part about it. Mormons choose faith without works for Mormon Death Wish Bicentennial. That's an old one. Mark. Oaks is the biggest POS? What's POS? Within the Mormon cult church. He's the dangerous one. Yeah. He's the one whispering into Nelson Lucifer's ears, telling him how to do things, because he used to be a prosecuting attorney and U.S. Supreme Court Justice. And because he couldn't give up the world, he's second behind Nelson. But yeah, he's next. He is extremely dangerous, women, LGBTQIA+, blacks, everybody. He's behind it. All of these legal things that the church was also involved with, him, because he knows how to overthrow the law. He's responsible. That's been his role. He's a very dangerous man. And so, yes, that could be a second fulfillment of the head of the dragon is replaced by another who's worse than the first. Revelation. James and Jasmine, Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies. I am so sorry to bother you again. Not a problem at all. You're actually the highlight of my comment replies here, other than Robin too. Where are you, Robin? I don't see you here. Where are you? We are all in Pine Knot, Kentucky. Population 1,500. Little small town. The missionaries are both from Utah. Yeah, that explains it. So sorry. But are working from their church here in Whitley City, Kentucky. Yeah. Apparently you don't know how that works. When we go out on our mission, the missions, as 36 new ones are going to be created for next year. Because what they're doing now is the mission presidents are being called for those 36 missions. And those mission presidents will have to find a mission home where he and his wife, and if they have children, will have to move to for those 2 years. And they either sell their home here in Utah or they leave it to family to take care of while they're away for the 2 years of their mission. And or however long, sometimes it's extended, but then they then are responsible for setting up missionary apartments so that the missionaries have a place to live in while they're there. And then they have a church that would be near the mission home, which would be called the the hub. I'm forgetting the word. It's where the missionaries who are brand new to the mission go to transfers. There we go. It'd be the location for transfers. So the new missionaries next year, from the 72,000 who go to these 36 new missions, will go to the church designated as the transfer hub. And there they would get their mission assignments as to where they would go. In my particular case, we went to the mission home first. And as the mission was already established, it's not going to be a situation where all of a sudden there's going to be all these missionaries into the one. And so their house won't be able to handle all of them. And so they're going to have probably a church to meet once they get there and be given their mission home addresses at the church, and then immediately go from there. They might have a meeting at the beginning. Welcome, guys. This is the greatest mission in the mission field. They'll say that. But yeah, it'll be something similar to that. And so your missionaries, they may work from their church. Here in Utah, yeah, many of the missionaries try to meet with people at the church, especially if they're female and they're male missionaries. There are certain rules and regulations. So yes, Jasmine, if you are all by yourself at home, those male missionaries are not allowed in your home if James is not around. Just know that. There are stricter rules for missionaries. And so, but yeah, they may work from their church, ask you to go to the church so that they can conduct business and stuff, and investigation or investigator lessons and such. And that seems to be what they're doing. But yeah, that's to give you an overview of how it used to be, at least. Maybe it's psychic intuition now. Oh, God. Oh, the train. Yeah, I meant to ask you about that the other video. I heard in the news that in Kentucky there was a big major train crash. That was far away from you, right? I hope. Hope nobody you knew was on that. That was pretty serious. Alright. Buckley. Perhaps I'm just not looking in the right place for the bombshell breaking news, but I cannot find the document you mentioned. The church news link? Really? The Joseph Smith Papers.org? Really? Okay, let me help you out. Bombshell breaking news, Buckley. Yeah, good. So there's this thing called Google search, and after the white screen of death and buffering, you type in churchofjesuschrist.org. They've removed Latter-day Saints because we're now in the millennium. This is the kingdom. Peace, safety, and refuge, right? And they've got red for blood. They think that's the fulfillment? No, Jesus is not wearing white, plus he's a statue. And now it's been buried. Dear God, they're burying it down in the news feed. No Mormon will ever know unless they find out through me. Dear God. And you scroll down, and under Brent Tooney, Looney Tooney Trent, who doesn't know Mormonism, he's got in the text some highlighted reds. And so there it is. All tithing donations were carefully recorded. Wasn't careful at all. In a record book known as the Book of the Law. And then you click on it. Then it opens up a new tab. And ta-da! There you are. And so, since that was too complicated, I will do a copy. And where are you? And then click on reply and paste. We'll leave it to a space just in case YouTube doesn't cooperate. And a thumbs up and a heart. There you go. Easy breezy cover girl. Or maybe it was Maybelline. Another person is asking me if I'm an atheist. Oh dear God. I just... Oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm not finished yet. I've still got tons of stuff here. And we're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, that'll put us at 7 when I finish. So yeah, it'll be a 2-hour video. I'll then spend the rest of the evening uploading it to my movie maker and saving it, and then upload it on YouTube tomorrow morning. It's a 2-hour tour. But the show was actually 3 hours. You're twisting all the words. All right, Revelator Quentin, James Richard Wiley. There's the Wiley from the New York Mission. Are you a grandchild? Are you a psychic intuitionist like they were? Like the other guy, dear God. Anyone who studies the history of this movement. What movement? Knows that Joseph Smith was a con artist, grifter, womanizer. That is an awesome song by Britney, by the way. And a music video, too. It's fun. And false prophet. Yeah, well, I study the history. I don't know what you're talking about. Brigham Young, however, yeah. Not Joseph. Bye-bye, dumbass. You don't know anything about the history. Oh, dear God. Live within your means? What the hell? Bombshell, breaking news. Travis, since you seem like an intelligent man, I hate it when people flatter, pacify, and deceive me. Do not placate me. You will lose my interest. And if you really care, oh, bleep you. I'm about to ban you from my channel. Again, I thought that was, dear God, what is true, and care to help others who don't seem to have as much time as you do, and as many have children or jobs. You're making excuses. Get the hell off my channel. And he also made a comment on Book of LDS Moses Latter-day, and again he just copied and pasted it. It's a spam, you dumbass. Get the hell off my channel. Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies of love and respect. Stanford Graham. Hey, Stanford. How you doing? TWG, I'm very grateful for you. See, that's different. He's sincere about this. For your commitment to teach, to prophesy, to see, to translate. And yeah, he tells me about what he's learning. I know he's genuine here. And reveal. Where are the prophets in the land as described in Lehi's pre-Exodus context? There is a dearth of prophets. Yeah. Jeremiah prophesies to that. 23, right at the beginning. It's awesome. Nelson fulfilled it. Good job, Nelson. Done it again. You failed yesterday, but you're fulfilling other prophecies. But why would we be offered more if the ears of the people are closed? Yeah, well, first of all, Nelson is a false prophet. So that's why he's not fulfilling Amos 3:7. I am. And so as you can see, I'm the one who is the prophet, the seer, the revelator, and the translator. And I've been demonstrating that for you guys. For Mormons specifically, because Stanford, he already knows. I'm not really talking to him, but he is learning from me and is able to take my videos and apply them as he studies and searches things out. And so it's Mormons who are refusing to even come to my channel, or who come to my channel for the sole purpose of leaving a hate comment and death threat, and they tried to explain things to me. Whether it's Israel-splain or Mormon-splain or testimony bearing, B-A-R-E, right, Robin? And so, yes, my associative memory kicked in Elvis. Are you lonesome tonight? Are you feeling all right? And so, yes, Mormons' ears are closed. And like I've told you in this video, I fulfilled the Isaiah prophecy. I came in the midst of the wars wearing red clothing. See, John in Revelation in 19 talks about blood clothing for red. But he also talks about the moon shall be turned to blood. That not to be taken literal. It's symbolic prophecy for just the red color. So like the lunar eclipses, that's the prophecy. The blood red moon. The shirt I was wearing, blood red. So yes, it's the same prophecy as Isaiah, but Isaiah just said red garments. But it's talking about the same thing. And yes, we are in Revelation 19 right now. We are in 3rd Nephi, chapter 7 right now. We are heading towards 8 April 2024. The angel standing in the sun, the sign of the death of Christ. Death of the Lamb. He's already in the constellation. He's retrograding. But if you're using Christian interpretation, you miss it. You don't see it, and then you get angry and emotionally upset and violent and abusive and hateful because you replace the Jews. You know nothing of Jewish interpretation. You're using your spiritual witness, psychic feeling interpretation. And so, yes, Mormons are closed, but they are being offered more. My arm is stretched out still. I wanted to, and I did fulfill Jonah. But I did the video and I came back. And still, none of the people of Nineveh are converted. That's not the prophecy. And so, yes, I retired, but I did Book of Mormon in the Learning of the Jews series for you. And so, yeah, the hearts of Mormons are hard and cold, and it's gotten worse. With this war in Israel, the worst of human nature is emerging. People that you thought were cool, thought were good, all of a sudden are being exposed for who they really are. The press, so many journalists, so many news hosts, so many news anchors are spewing from their mouth who they really are. And it's crushing. The hearts of everyone has waxed cold, not just Mormons. They refuse to hear or even consider a warning voice. Because that's all it is. That's all I'm doing. I'm not telling you that you have to pay tithing to me or you're going to die. That's Nelson who's doing that. But you get mad at me because you're upset that Nelson is telling you to pay tithing or die. How messed up is that? The elixir, not Kool-Aid? Of false prophets is dangerous. I think it is actually intoxicating to those who choose to imbibe. It's a deadly poison, like the banana rama applesauce, whatever that is. Dear God, lead. Is it from China? They're always sending our kids lead, and America just keeps taking stuff from China over and over again. Lead, guys. Do you not understand what lead is and how dangerous it is to the human body? And you know that China keeps giving it to us. They keep giving it to Canada. They keep giving it to everybody around the world. They're literally trying to murder everyone around the world so that only the Chinese are the master race. And you can't get a clue on that? Government sucks. Thank you again for your persistence. Mark, part 1 of 6, says, I don't feel sorry for all the... No, you can say morons. I allow you to say morons. It means not intelligent. God, that Mormon employee sucks. Who give up their 10% tithing to the Mormon cult church at all. Yeah. It literally is a protection racket, and Mormons don't see it. See, I was always uncomfortable with tithing. As a little kid, I'm being told I got to give 10% to the church. And I'm like, what the hell? I want to buy this cigarette candy, even though it tastes like chalk. I want to go play the arcade game, Asteroids, at the 7-Eleven, where I buy the cigarette candy. That costs money. So, yeah. And when you realize you are not robbing God by not paying tithing, I think that's what Mormons are afraid of. Because the church hypnotizes them to say, this is for Jesus. Jesus is the one telling us that you have to pay. It's not us. Jesus demands you pay atonement to him for his atonement for you. Mormons don't see it. It is so sick and wrong. Alright. Yeah, Avraham Gileadi is a coward. And a fool. Yeah. But, when you're threatened with your life, when you're threatened with the life of your family, your livelihood and your lifestyle, that's when you know a true character of a human being. And most people, like Benjamin Franklin Johnson, they claim that their character is of the purest of holiness, when in reality they are just devils who are lying and deceiving us. But Avraham, yeah, he was a sad tale of someone who caved. But I have seen it over the years here, as Mormons and employees of Mormons are ordered from the church ultimately to commit crimes against me. And the people who don't have it in their nature to commit crimes, they get fired and their lives are ruined. And I've seen the others who make the attempt but fail because they've never done that before. They've never committed crime before, at least knowingly and willingly. And they too, because they failed, their lives are ruined and destroyed and they're fired. That was my brother in that particular scenario as well. My brother, he doesn't have a mean bone in his body to hurt people, but he can be easily hypnotized to be a Nazi. And that's what you guys don't understand, is that once a person is put to the test in a time of authoritarian takeover, you see the true character of a human being. Not just in times of trauma, not just in times of being threatened. Is that my brother would literally be the one making the list and torturing people, even though he's not a psychologist, because of how the church can hypnotize and brainwash people into thinking that the apostates are the enemy. And that's what this is all about. This book of the law of God is designed as a list of those who have not apostatized. And if it's apostatized, I don't care. But it's the book of those who have apostatized. They're the ones who overthrew Joseph Smith and betrayed him, who were Nazis, Confederates, KKK, MAGA. And because they did this, they were all in. They knew it wasn't by Joseph. These Danites knew they were cooing Joseph and murdering him and blaming him, falsely accusing him, raping women in his name without his knowledge, murdering, pillaging, plundering, burning houses of the neighbors to the ground, all to blame Joseph. These Danites are not human beings. They are stone cold criminals. And I can't get Mormons who are innocent like my brother to understand this threat. Avraham Gileadi caved to that threat. I have witnessed Mormon after Mormon and employee of Mormon after employee of Mormon who gets crushed by this criminal mindset. The federal magistrate justice first found out how evil this church is, as she was fired by orders of the church. The overthrow of the government is by the church. They are taking the lead on all of this. The war in Ukraine, the war in Israel is the church. So, yeah, this is just, it's not just a situation where Avraham was a coward and a fool. It was he caved and showed that he was no different than Elizabeth Smart when she was kidnapped. He is a victim. He is being held hostage. As the prophecies say, he's in bondage to the great and abominable church, just like all Mormons are. But you just have too many Mormons within the church who are Danites still, following after the third, second to fifth grade grandfathers. I saw a news story the other day. It's not in America, it's somewhere else in the world, where there's a newborn baby that's the third great granddaughter, and the whole family picture of the descendants of that line. Breed them young. Breed them young. And so, yeah. But, you know, what does he do? He's here in Utah now. He was educated at BYU. It's worthless outside of Utah. He can't get another job anywhere else. Nobody will take him. Right, Todd? And so, yes, he, along with his family, goes to ruins, or he begs on hand and knee to be taken back. So, that's the sad reality of Utah. This is the Zion. And for the most part, most Mormons don't see that in Utah. They don't see what is going to be emerged once the church actually takes power. See, right now, there's an illusion that none of this is actually real. That Judge First actually did something wrong and was justified in being fired. There's excuses that people can make for the church. But once the church takes official power of the kingdom, Mormons will see the reality. Because nobody can stop the church then, because they're now in power. And that is my warning message to you, to get out. We need to finish, because we're already over what I wanted. But I want to go over Robin. She's got 3 on part 1. First is fire insurance, as in if you pay an honest tithing, that will assure the burning. We promise you. Yeah, you missed some of my earlier videos, Robin, where I go over that. There are Mormons who actually believe that if a nuclear bomb goes off, that because they're a full tithe payer, they will not be burned. They'll be caught up in the clouds to meet Jesus. The mushroom cloud. Yep. It is horrific. It's like Mormons don't get a clue from the Heaven's Gate guy or the Kool-Aid man, Jim Jones. It's, dear God, they don't see it coming. They literally are sheep being led to the slaughter, and they're only getting angry at me. You look for the secret combinations being flashed across the screen. I miss you, Robin. It's been a while. Where are you? Where are you? How can the only truth lie to you? Silly boy, that makes no sense. You have the spirit of contempt. Oh, man. Be nice. I dedicated a song to you. Is that why you're hiding? You're ghosting me because I dedicated a song to you and then, oops. Gotta run and hide now. Women. What is it with women? Mark on LDS First Presidency Christmas message. The Mormon Corporation has now more sexual abuse cases than the Catholic Church. Yeah, the Boy Scouts alone was 3,000 plus. Way to go, Rusty Nelson. Not Rusty. Say his name. He gets angry if you don't say his name. Russell Marion. And James and Jasmine, 22 hours ago. The Christmas message. Hello, Mr. Goodsoul. We are going to need you to breathe. Yeah. This was way too much fun for you, and it's awesome. And so she gives me the first 2 verses of War Pigs. Let's all sing together. Hymn number War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Generals gathered in their masses. This is the theme song in the description below. You win. You win. Because it'll be put on Sabbath, and it's the Jewish Sabbath today, so it's appropriate. War Pigs. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields the bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Any meaning to that? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So yeah, that's our closing. That's our closing hymn. So Paul McBride, Claire. Oh, we just have 3. Okay, let's get them finished. Some extra announcements at the end of sacrament meeting. It's going to go a little longer. Thanksgiving Mormon comment replies. Paul McBride. Yes, detoxing from a lifelong of great and abominable programming for me has been a jarring and long process. But learning from real church history, Jewish interpretation of Scripture, and yes, being able to laugh at the moronic deceptions is very helpful. I am thrilled to have learned from my past mistakes following blind guides. One big thing I've learned is to never outsource my understanding of doctrine to anyone else. Everyone needs to plant their own seeds and using the scientific method process produce their own fruit and get their own knowledge, both from applying the scriptures and turning personal inspiration into real life works. If members in Joseph's day would have done that, they wouldn't have been deceived by Illuminati Brigham. Yeah, well, Joseph did put in their condemnation over the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon is the keystone for a reason. But when you use the wrong interpretation, it leads to devastating effects. Okay, Book of Moses, Latter-day Prophecy. C.L. Baird, the one who's asking me if I'm an atheist in the last comment. The thing that turned me away from the LDS Church at the age of about 10 was Testimony Day. Fast and Testimony Day. No, next week. The first Sunday of every month, except for conferences and stake conferences. Once a month, these people would go to the pulpit. The Book of Mormon calls it a Rameumptum. I confess Joseph Smith as a true prophet, spelled Profit, blah, blah, blah. And then they would all cry, blubber about it. It was my least favorite Sunday of the month, especially when you have parents that force you to fast. To starve. Starve your children day. It's for Jesus. Testimony Day proved the falsity of the church to me. Imagine that. Yeah. God would not want people getting up and putting on a show like that. Yeah, that's the whole thing with the tithing. Or, well, yeah, maybe it didn't call it tithing. It's when the widow's mite. She goes to donate, puts in 2 mites. Jesus sees her, nobody else sees her, nobody cares about her. And so Jesus takes an opportunity to use it as a lesson, teaching moment, and says, look, she gave more than those Pharisees who were there bragging about how much they gave, when they didn't really give much at all percentage-wise. They're still filthy rich off of the members of the church who provided for their living. So, yeah, nice testimony. Did you see what he did there? That was brilliant. He bears his testimony about how fast and testimony meetings caused him to know that the church wasn't true. That was the perfect testimony. He just doesn't know the truth yet, but he knows what's false. So if he can just use that same process to find the truth, you're all set. Then he has a question. Are you an atheist? Dear God, no. Book of Mormon, Keystone. 1 Nephi, chapter 1, verse 2. There I am. That's my religion. Alrighty, it's on Unrepented Mormon Comment Replies. We are done. Good night. No SNL tonight. So sad.